The Dolphins were blasted 31-6 at Cleveland on Sunday, losing a third consecutive game, so they're now 1-6. Okay, so Mike McDaniel's had this to say. I got to play this because
he's going to take the snaps this week, and he's going to be our starter this week. And my expectation is that we don't throw 10 picks.
I hate the whole situation they have brewing down there.
Yeah.
This is a dumpster fire, and you have McDaniel and Tua throwing bags of gasoline into the dumpster fire. We look at this guy on TV. I do not see a leader of men. When I'm going out there on Sunday and I want to rip someone's head off, I'm not getting fired up by this guy's pregame speech, right? Now let's go to Tua. Tua last week was talking about guys being late, and he's talking about leadership. Well, the leadership starts and ends with Tua because you're the franchise quarterback.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was taking a side on, was he pointing fingers at the locker room? I think when he said leadership, he was pointing a finger right at Mike McDaniel. Because when you have people constantly late in a professional sports organization, that shows fractures. That shows favoritism. Oh, you were 5 minutes late. It's all good. You go out there and play. That, to me, is the biggest fundamental flaw of this entire operation. McDaniel's going to roll with Tua. This offense was built for Tua. He's going down swinging with his guy. He's going to be fired imminently. I saw Mr. Ross put out a statement, and he said he's going to give Grier and McDaniel time to get this right. It's not working. And with Tua throwing up punts to the defense, it's definitely not working. If I just look at the Miami Dolphins, I love playing there. I love Mr. Ross. He was very, very good to us. But what I see is Mr. Ross as an absentee owner. He's busy building billion-dollar companies and developing, right? And if you look at Miami Dolphins' issues the last, call it 10, 15 years, it's him trusting the wrong guys. Him trusting basically to come over and hand the keys to the organization and let them run the show without any oversight, without any pressure. And now we're in a situation where we have Chris Grier, and he's bringing in guys that don't fit the mold. These guys aren't tough. They're not physical. Then you have that as a leader, as a head coach, and this is what you get. You get them dead in the water 7 games into the season, and there's no one saving them. They got a clean house.
Yeah, I'm 100% with Richie on this. I hate it. I mean, why even say that? I get that you're trying to make a joke and make a lighthearted comment and make light of the situation, but you are one of the worst teams in the NFL. There's a time and place for that, and I get that's who Mike McDaniel is, but you can't do that, man. You just can't do that. You're bottom in the NFL in every category in your offense. You're the play caller, and every category of your offense is bottom of the NFL. You have Tua, who leads the NFL in interceptions, tied with Geno Smith, and he has 10 interceptions, by the way. I don't know if that was the reason he said 10 and made a jab at him, but I hate that.
And by the way, that leads the NFL.
It does. It's tied with Geno Smith with 10 right now. But you're sitting there making jokes when you have players in the locker room that are busting their ass for money, for their livelihood, for their future, and you're up there at you could say the Jets, but one of the worst teams in the NFL, making light of the situation. It's not fair to the players. It's disrespectful to the fan base because they're not having fun. They're not making jokes right now. They want a winner. They want a team that they can cheer for, and you're saying those type of things. And look, I'm not the biggest Tua fan in the world, but now you just created a distraction furthermore for your quarterback after Tua just got done last week calling out players or Mike McDaniel, whoever he said for those player-ran meetings. Your quarterback and your head coach are the leaders of your organization, and they are creating more distraction than they are fixing problems right now. It's unacceptable. It's a ticking time bomb. I don't know how much longer Mike McDaniel will be there or Tua, but they needed to make a decision very soon.
It ain't never gonna work. It's just not gonna work. This offense, this style of offense is never going to last because football is football and the fundamentals of football don't change. You can't create this new brand of offense where we're just going to go read here, and then this true progression offense, I don't care who you are. You have to have a quarterback who's very good off schedule to make it work. Talked about with Jalen Hurts. He's very good at playing off schedule. That's not Tua. Tua don't want to run no more. He barely want to get hit. He's scared. If you go look at those 3 picks, it was all him being a victim of this true progression. The first one was a flat, and he never read the defense. He just looked, throw. Yeah. And Cody will break it down. He's just looking. and throwing. The one in the end zone, they're showing pressure. Defensively, we're taught direct runs, screens, and flats when you're getting backed up. That's what they teach us. So if we know that, why, when you're getting blitzed, do you just panic throw and just whatever? He down there somewhere. He threw it to where 3 people was. You know why? Because he's not reading the defense.
Right.
That's just whoever. This is my first guy, that's who I'm throwing to. The third pick, he's throwing up the seam. He never looked at the defense. That's my first guy. I'm just throwing it. It's never going to work because this is the style of offense they play. I don't know if Tua can actually read a defense.
Right.
Because he's not being asked to. He's looking at his receiver. And if it ain't that guy, I'm going to my second receiver. He's not looking at the shift of the defense. He's not looking at pre-snap alignment. And then if he goes inside, then I'm going here. If he steps outside, then the throw is here. It's never going to work. Y'all talked about like in the locker room and how he's not a leader of men. You need that if you want to improve. What's going to make you change? Nobody's going to follow McDaniel. Nobody's going to follow Tua.
No.
You're not getting out there publicly and saying what you're going to say about us, and then we going to come out here and play hard for you. Or we want that guy at quarterback, and this is who we got at quarterback.
Right.
You know why when these great defenses play, you watch the Bucs, even last night, as bad as it was, when things were against them and the offense kept turning the ball over, you see the defense play hard.
I agreed.
Because they know who their quarterback is.
Right.
Yeah.
They know what Baker is bringing to the team.
Yeah.
They know that guy is going to fight for everything. And what people forget is you take on the identity of your head coach. That's why Mike Vrabel's teams are always tough.
Yeah.
Look at Mike Vrabel. Look at how he played and look how he is.
Old school, tough.
You take on the identity. And when your quarterback is like that and your head coach is like that, it's never going to work, especially with this scheme. So, yeah, they gotta just.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
That's over with.
You know, the true progression and stuff like they're running level concepts to half side of the field, right? Rolling everybody out. He's got a deep, he's got a middle, he's got a flat, right? And the reason I say Tua is ass is look at the interceptions. He's throwing it to double, triple coverage.
Ridiculous.
He's literally just throwing up punts, and you can't do that. You can't turn the ball over and then you look at the leadership, Tua and Mike. You can't get behind them. You can't rally around them.
Yeah.
And to your point, these are rookie-level concepts. These are what they're running right now with Dylan Gabriel in Cleveland in that game. And I went back, watched all 3 of those picks. That first one, simple concept. You have a flat and you have a spot by the receiver. Already Campbell pre-snap is outside leverage on the flat. I know, okay, I'm eliminating that. I'll take my eyes there to displace a linebacker, but I'm eliminating that. I'm resetting back to the spot route that was wide open. And if that's not there, react off of it and get through your progression. But he's predetermining these throws. The one in the end zone, he drops back, and I know he saw him. You can say the defender was coming, he didn't have vision. You said 3. There were 4 guys around that basic route, that end cut on the tight end, and he still just throws it. You have to know, error on the side of caution when you're backed up. Throw it away. He had time to throw it away. It was different than the Sam Darnold play to where he took the fumble. Throw it away, move on, punt it, don't make a bad play worse. And then the last one, 100% predetermined. He looked right at the snap. You had a seam concept on the left, you had a seam on the right. He looked right at the snap to get the safety to move. Safety didn't move. Okay, fine. You still have to confirm that he moved, and he didn't do that. He went 1, 2, 3. I'm going to look right like I'm taught in routes on air, come back left, throw it no matter what. And, you know, to Tua's, not trying to knock on him, not trying to kick him while he's down, but he doesn't have the arm strength to make that throw where he can beat the safety, but he's still doing it. You see that safety play over? It's not there. Go to your next option, find your check down, throw it away or run, move on. He's just not in rhythm right now. He's completely lost his confidence, and you can tell Mike McDaniel and Tua are not on the same page.
I like it that you're going left-handed.
I was doing some lefty.
I did lefty
action.
And by the way, I think you could throw harder with your left hand than he can throw with his left hand. That's what I believe, right?
Yeah, and that's that weather,
man. That's the problem.
That's AFC football. You got to be able to play in that.
So I would like to jump on this downhill bandwagon and hate this, but the truth is it's like beneath my dignity to hate this because it's so sorry and so sad. It's just, you're all exactly right. It's going nowhere. It's going to hit a wall sooner than later, and I think he's going to have to step in at some point pretty soon and and put somebody else in the interim just to get them through the night at the end of the season, because this is about as sorry and sad as it gets in the National Football League.
Yep.
Because week after week we get this, it's your fault, it's your fault.
Yep.
You.
Spider-Man me.
Yeah, that's right. And now we got the head coach taking a shot at the court. Look, like that's it. Like if I were Mr. Ross, I would say, you know what? I think that's enough.
Right.
I think I've seen enough, heard enough. Let's just stop this now and give our fans a little bit of something to hang on to for the rest of the year. And in honor of our man Akib, I'm going to quote him today because we do miss him. He said several times on the show, when he encountered a new head coach, he'd go into the first meeting and size him up for about 10 minutes, and he'd know in about 10 minutes, right? Like checking him out. And if it's a no, Akib's starting to look at his phone, like he does sometimes when I'm talking over here. He starts looking at his phone. He's out, right? If I were in that meeting room with Mike McDaniel that first year, that first 10 minutes, I would take one look and say, seriously?
Right.
We hired this guy to be our head coach?
Right.
I do think he has merit as an offensive coordinator because of what he did. The first 2 years were shockingly better to me. And I was out on Tua before the draft. You can look it up. I said no. He had 5 surgeries at Alabama before he got drafted.
Right.
He's fragile. He's a great kid. Not a strong leader, but I think he's got a good heart and all that. That's not what we're talking about again. But I was out on Mike McDaniel from the start, and he's one of those, he's a Shanahan product, where he's with the Shanahans all the way up.
Yep.
And yet, he says he played football at Yale, and I guess he went out for the team and was, quote unquote, on the team as like a 5th string receiver who never played. But he's a mousy little guy who, to your point, he just embraces his nerdiness. And he loves to hit us with these weirdly, inexplicably sort of intellectually baffling answers, like, what?
Yeah,
what is that? What are you saying? Because that's all he's got. He's got like tricky verbal, like that's who this guy is. And yet I give him those first 2 years because they went 9-8 and they backed into the, they went to the back door of the playoffs, and then they went 11-6 and they made the playoffs. Now they lost pretty bad. I was 34-31 at Buffalo the first time, and 26-7 at Kansas City in their second playoff game.
Yeah.
But he got Tua to realize if you've got Tyreek and you got Waddle and you got this track team, just throw it immediately. Let them throw punts.
Yeah.
But if you throw them fast enough, if you get rid of the ball in 1.3 seconds and let them chase the punt, they can often outrun two DBs,
Get
right?
the ball to your playmakers.
Yeah. And so Tua was okay in those first 2 years, and now he's just regressed. And he's lost his nerve because you can't blame him because he just got rocked so many times, and then the world said you got to stop. And he says, "No, my parents and I have talked to the doctors.
Yeah.
We want to take the risk. He loves to play. I got it, but you can't play that position without your guts. You can't because you'll hurt your football team too much.
Yeah, you have to understand. You have to stand in the pocket and make throws.
You just do.
You're gonna have to, and if you don't have that, it ain't gonna work.
No.
I'll go back to one last thing, right? We have all these great offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators that get thrust into the limelight as the head coach. When they go into that first meeting, you are walking in front of 53 killers. You are walking in front of some men.
Agreed.
And we are staring you up and down every single day. And we're trying to find one little weakness, one little soft spot. You look at McDaniel, it's just soft the entire way. It was cute when it was working. It was great when it was working. Everyone's having fun. McDaniel's this new age coach, this, that, and the other. Now that things are going bad, this is a glaring weakness. And he's lost the locker room. These guys can't get behind him. Mr. Ross needs to make a change, clean house, just to give the fans some hope down there.
And that's a perfect point. And I fell for it too. I was a victim of it when he was in Miami, started winning games, had the Gucci's on, and the sweats and all that outfit, and everyone was like, all right, man, this guy's perfect for Miami. He's perfect, the attitude he has. But the problem is, anybody can do that. I don't give a shit what happens when you're winning. I give a shit when things start going bad.
Yeah. Right.
How can you lead this group out of those dark places? And he doesn't have that. And we haven't seen it yet. And it's going from bad to worse right now. And it's going from the head coach to your quarterback to the rest of the team. And who I really feel for right now is the fans and also the other guys in that locker room who do care and want to go out there and put their body on the line every week and make plays, and they just don't have leadership at the top.
Yeah, Gerald, real quick. How inspired can a defensive player be to play for a Mike McDaniel?
You won't be.
Yeah.
You won't be. And then when they call in defense, when he says you lose the locker room, you have to want to play for the guy who's coaching. When he comes in and he talks to you, it doesn't have to be a rah-rah speech. It's not always about a rah-rah speech, but you have to believe in him, what he's saying, and when things go a certain way, you have to want to play for the guy who's leading you. When you lose the locker room, it don't matter what you call defensively. You be like, man, we running this again, or forget that, man. I'm about to, hey, y'all cover, man. I'm rushing. Like that's just what happens.
Right.
It's just you don't want to.
Because you're not worried about repercussions.
Yeah, you don't care anymore.
So last night I watched the video of Dan Campbell in the locker room after that big win for the home team, for the Lions, and they're playing with like 4 kids, all backups in the secondary, and he just commanded that locker room, and he said, I'm just paraphrasing, but he said, if we play defense like that, we're going to win every effing game.
Yes.
And I believed it because I would like to play for him.
Yes.
And that guy is
Take on
scary.
the identity of your head coach.
Because through a brick wall.
I think he could whip about half the team still. Like
Oh, no doubt.
Dan Campbell's a great example because they were in a dark place, and his leadership brought them out of it because of the type of coach and the man that he is. And those guys, even when they were winning one game and they were struggling, I mean, they were celebrating, I think, a 1-10 or 1-11 game when they won at the end of the when Jared got through a touchdown in one of Campbell's first years. But you could see the belief in that team to where, all right, we're here right now, but this isn't the end result because we believe in that head coach.
Right.
When you have a guy like that, you have a true leader.
Yeah.
So raise your hand if you think they should fire Tua and Mike McDaniel tomorrow.
I mean, they can't get rid of Tua. I mean, he's got to be the starter until they take him out. But
you can bench him. Yeah, they'll bench him.
Greer,
get rid of him.
And McDaniel gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Okay, there we go. Tomorrow.
If I saw that,
couple hours.
I thought it was going to happen
I'll do that a couple hours from now.
But if I
Before
saw
they start game planning for tomorrow when they do run games.
Okay.
If I saw that with McDaniel throwing out the Tua stat line of 10 interceptions, I'm literally picking up the phone and I'm like, get your shit. You're out of here.
Yep.
You are out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, there we have it. Let's move on to Gerald's Bucks.